Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Set. I'm Sabrina,
And I'm Kevin. And we're
and we
here.
are back.
We're here again. Well, I mean, for everybody else, it doesn't seem that soon. For us, it's 2 days.
Yeah, shh, don't tell them that.
Sorry.
Um, well, we are here back again. We're doing our 2025 prediction. So we did this last
Yeah.
year, and we are gonna do it this year because I won. So obviously, I'm going to go. Oh,
Where did this come from?
we're 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 betting this year, aren't we?
Are we?
I
I mean,
mean,
I got pretty well spanked last year, so
mhm.
with last year's predictions.
We could put money on the
Yeah,
line.
sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure.
Well, $20. Whoever wins the best prediction,
I
whoever's
was gonna say whoever
predictions.
wins, like you pay for spa. No.
Um, um, that's gonna get a
Okay,
little
20 bucks. 20 bucks will
expensive.
get us there. 20, yeah,
Yeah, that goes into the pot to get us there.
to get parking when we're there. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay, so $20. Whoever has by the end of the year wins the predictions closest
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
more correct, whatever we want to say. Um, so I think we can kind of jump. We're going to do the same format we did last year,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
I
was
think
our
that's
top five driver finishing, bottom five drivers.
Yep, and nobody cares about the ones in between. So
Because,
really,
yeah,
who cares?
yeah,
It's,
we care
they're
about some of them,
basically
but yeah,
as drivers, but
yeah,
their standings really make no difference.
no.
Um, so, would you want to? Do you want to kick it off? Do you want to kick it off with your? Do you want to start at the bottom, or do you want to start? Let's start
I
at the
kind
bottom.
of, yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of want to start at the bottom.
Okay, let's start at the bottom.
Okay,
Start at 20.
so bottom five, I have Isaac Hadjar.
Isaac Hadjar. Okay. Any
He's
reason
supposed to
why?
be really good. I feel like he is going to flub for some reason in the RB. I don't know. I think Yuki's going to get to him. The whole thing's just going to get to him, and he'll be in 20th.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I'm not far off on you, but my 20 is going to be Gabriel Bortoleto. I
Oh,
don't think that
okay.
that car is going to be there again this year. It just seems like even now they're like, yeah, whatever. We're waiting for 2026.
Yeah.
It's just a write off year. And so with his inexperience, I don't think he's going to really have a chance.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him at 20.
Okay. I actually had him at 19.
And
So,
I had Hadjar at 19.
yeah. Okay. So I had him at 19, and I just thought that little spurt of what we saw from Stake, Sauber, whatever they're being called this year at the end of the season, I was like, maybe they'll keep that little bit of momentum and maybe. So that's why I was like, he'll be 19th. But again, this is like minuscule points we're talking
But
about
but
here.
for us, it's $20.
Well, for us, it's 20 bucks. Yeah. So I had him at
Okay.
19. So you had Hadjar
Yes,
at 19 and
I did. And
kind of the same
Bortoleto at 20.
reason.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're basically the same. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
interchangeable at this point. I don't even know if either of them will get a point. So
Yeah. Honestly. 18, maybe controversial. I had Jack Doohan.
Jack Doohan. See, I didn't. Now that I'm looking at my list. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, it goes into a little bit of my predictions, but there's a reason why I don't have Jack Doohan on this list.
Okay, well,
Uh,
same. I think we have the same
okay.
the same hot take.
I mean, if I could have put him at 21, I'd put him at 21. But
Yeah.
I put Nico Hulkenberg. Again, just goes
Mm,
back to the stake. He's not going to have a performing car like he did last year to at least get some points. I don't think he's going to. If he gets a point this year, I think he's got a seat in the top team.
okay. So you had Hulkenberg.
I did, yeah. And
Okay.
my 18, and you had Doohan.
Okay.
Yeah.
17, I have Ocon.
You have Ocon. Okay.
I have that Haas just not meshing. The relationship just not meshing. I see Bierman doing a lot better in that Haas and him just not being able to figure it out.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I think he's gonna drop
Yeah,
down.
it's not. No, that's not bad. I mean, Behrman does have experience in it. So, no, hey, listen.
Right. It's still a different
I,
car, but yeah.
I struggle. I struggle to not put Ocon. I think my bias of wanting to put him lower is making me put him higher because I just like no, it's just me being an idiot or an ass. But my number 17 was Yuki. I think he's really going to
Oh.
struggle. I think he's really going to struggle in that. I think the Racing Bulls are going to struggle in general as well. So I mean, I put both Racing Bulls and both stakes in the bottom four. So I don't think I don't expect much from either of them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess okay, I didn't have Yuki, but I mean I do have both stakes in my in my bottom 5. I have Nico in 16th. I
You
think
have
he'll
Nico and
find something in the car, but just not enough. And again, I'm like when we get into the drivers at the bottom here, we're seeing 4 points, 3 points, 1 point,
0 points.
0. Like I don't think Bottas didn't
No,
get any points.
Bottas didn't get a point last
Right.
year. No, did Zhao get
Did
a point?
Zhao get 1? Why do I feel
I
like
don't
Zhao
think
got
so.
1 point?
I don't feel like he did. It was just a big deal of Bottas being last, and I can't remember why that was.
Yeah.
Was it because he was beat out by his team? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Either way, it was pathetic.
But yeah, so I mean, I do think Hulkenberg is gonna get 7 points, maybe.
You're giving
4.
him 7 in a stake.
4.
Do you want me to
Yeah.
add this to your predictions?
No.
So I can say you're wrong? No?
No.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so that was my 16th spot.
It's sad when you can put 7 points as a hot take.
Yeah. Right?
So my 16, I had Ollie Behrman. I don't see it the same. I'm not saying that Ocon's going to be much better.
Okay.
I just and I think it more still goes back to rookies in a whole year. I don't see him finishing that high. I think he still has a lot of. There's going to be a lot of growing pains there in a car that's had some good showings, but it wasn't great.
No. And I mean, the good showings were with the experience, to your point, like the good showings were with experienced
and
drivers.
Teammates working together.
Yeah. One teammate taking out half the grid, the other teammate.
Or slowing everybody out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, if I had to think about it, I would put Bierman probably like 15th. I do think he'll have 1 or 2, maybe a sprint or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be like 10th or anything.
No.
But I mean, if he is,
good on him. But, yeah. Prove us wrong. But
yeah. So that's I guess our bottom 5.
Yeah, pretty similar. Well, you were the
pretty
only
similar.
You had an Alpine in there, but otherwise it's the same 3 teams.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much the same.
I mean, unless you have a Williams in the top 5, which I'm pretty confident you don't. It's interesting that we both didn't put a Williams in the bottom 5.
Yeah, I mean, there's a hot take I have with Williams, but
same.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
Maybe not Williams in general, but one of the drivers.
Okay, we have the same. We literally have the same hot takes. Okay.
We'll see. I can switch it up on a fly. That one I have a backup for.
Okay. All right. So our
top 5.
Yeah. So are we going to
start
from 5?
We'll start from 5. We'll go to 1.
Okay.
And I think you're going to be a little shocked with mine.
Oh, okay.
You're going to be shocked.
Okay. So I am going. This is kind of weird. I kind of have like a top 6, but like
no. But that does okay. You can tell me who 6 is, but it doesn't count toward. You can't say that either one of these drivers is going to finish in 5th.
Okay, fine. Well,
no, you can't. You're not.
Okay.
Because if either one of them does, if you're going to do this, and either one of them does end up in 5th, you get a half a point. I'm just putting it out there right now.
Okay, well, you can put it out there now. Okay, so in 5th, I think no matter what, it's Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
I kind of goes into one of my hot takes. But I just think it's the first year with a new team. I mean, yeah, he's won championships with being a new team, but I just think to keep Charles happy, they're going to have to play Charles as number one this year. This year. So I I think there's just some stronger people ahead going
I
into this
think
year.
that we have similar thinkings, um,
Okay.
but we're flipped.
Our orders.
So my number five is Charles Leclerc.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I think that you'll see what happens with my top four, but um, I think he's going to have another struggle year.
Okay.
Um, not for a whole season, not a terrible year. I just think there's going to be certain things, and then just the speed of the ones that are ahead of him. Um, it's just going to be, and it's not going to be far off between these
Right.
top five. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be very far.
Agreed.
I think we're talking, maybe a total of 80 points, which is four races,
Hmm.
right? Um, so I just have that feeling that he's going to end up the bottom of a very good pack.
Okay. Okay. Fair. So this is where mine gets funny. So my
Okay.
fourth place, and okay, I have two people for fourth, but I think the other person. Wait, wait. Whoever doesn't get fourth is going to get sixth, if that makes
How
sense.
does that matter? It doesn't.
So I have George Russell and Oscar Piastri in fourth.
Okay.
So I think there's going to be a lot of battles between those two. I think they're going to be like jockeying positions a lot. But Lewis is just going to be like a through goes Hamilton.
Okay.
So which is why he's in fifth. So whoever doesn't come in fourth, which again, this is me just
So are you doing a four and a
making up.
half, and a five?
Yes, pretty
Are you
much.
sticking with this? Because I swear to God, you're only getting half a point.
Okay, I will
Am I
take
am I
that.
am I putting Russell Piastri in
Yeah,
fourth?
yeah.
Like, shoot me now. We're
You're
all,
gonna
we're
put
we're we're
George.
10 minutes in here.
Just put George Piastri. Is
Okay.
we're just gonna change his name, um, or Oscar Russell. Um, but yeah,
Rust. I'm just gonna put Rusty.
Rusty. Yeah. I think there's gonna be something to watch between those two on track. I think Russell has something to prove this year, and Oscar is vying for number one.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be those two going nuts. Oscar, who doesn't care, George, who cares way too much. And yeah. And then
Well, I
poor
know
Lewis
you're
is going to get stuck behind them.
now. I know what your top three is, but I'm interested to see how you put them together. Anyways, so my top four is going to be Max Verstappen.
In fourth.
I think he is also going to have another struggle year. Um,
Wow.
not necessarily him, but the car.
Wow.
The team is going to have some tough times figuring it out, and then at some point they're just going to focus on 2026. Um, this will also lead with him ending up in fourth. Will lead to another hot take I have. But yeah, so I think he's going to have a difficult year. Again, the three ahead of him are going to be at the top of their game. I mean, it's going to be hard for him if he has any sort of struggle to beat these three.
Interesting. So you have him in fourth.
I have him in fourth.
Wow. Shocked. That's your guy.
I know. I know.
All right. I mean, I see the Red Bull trouble. Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting. Third, I have Charles.
Okay, another just disappointing year for Charles.
Yeah, I think uh, kind of like what I said before, I think he's going to get the upper hand. You think Lewis is going to get the upper hand. But I think he's going to get the upper hand. He's going to get the calls to switch places, which is going to go over like a lead balloon. But sure. He speaks Italian, so they'll just talk to him in Italian, um, and I I don't think this is his championship year, unfortunately.
Okay, I don't see it either. So, um, my three was Oscar Piastri. I think that McLaren is gonna ride that wave of success and speed. Oscar's gonna figure it out this year. He's ultimately still gonna end up behind his teammate, um, but not without some battles. I think they're gonna still play that we don't have a number one, but they're gonna be so good, especially at the start of the year. I think the first half of the year is going to be great for McLaren, um, and that he'll ultimately end up in third.
Oscar, and
Yeah.
this is his third season.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So for number one and number two, we obviously know who's in those two places for each other. What I want you, what we'll do here is we'll tell you who wins and why it's one or the other, instead of it's just because if we go to we know who's won. So
Okay.
So you can just tell me
okay.
who your number one is, yeah, and then you can make your case of why it's one and two.
Okay. I have Max.
You have Max winning again.
I have Max winning his fifth.
You have Max winning his fifth in a row.
Yeah. By the skin of his teeth. But
Fair enough.
I think there's going to be, which does go into my hot take. So Lando is in two. I don't think McLaren is going to figure out the on track stuff in terms of the drivers. And I think it's going to be to their detriment again. And I think it's really going to come down to inter-team mistakes. And it's going to be kind of like another win for him that's like a 2021 win where it's like he shouldn't have won, but because McLaren messed up, that's why he's winning. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think Lando is going to bring it to him. I think it's going to be a race I think it's going to be like a 2021 season between the two of them, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it's going to be win for win, but somehow Max is going to just edge it out.
Okay. So, mine is, this is going to be controversial.
If you say Lewis is winning,
I think that Lewis Hamilton wins his 8th title at Ferrari. I don't want him to, but I think he does. And it's not going to be like I feel, and do I say it in my predictions here? Yes, so I won't say it now. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be very close. I think that Ferrari's put too much into signing Lewis, too much of a big deal in this. I think they're going to put him first subconsciously, but it's also going to be because I think Charles is going to have some struggles. And so it's just going to work out that way. I don't think there's going to be a lot between Lewis, Lando, and Oscar. I think he'll get it by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
But they will somehow, and we've seen them be consistent for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent.
Because they let Carlos and Charles make the decisions.
It scares me that they're changing so much of the car.
Yeah.
That was my real struggle with putting them in first. But we know that Lewis knows his cars. We know that he knows what he likes and what's working and what isn't. If they listen to him, maybe it can work. And so I'm banking on by the end of the year they have, or at least after the break, they have a very, very competitive car, much like we saw McLaren this year.
Yeah. I mean, So you also have Lando in second.
Yes.
Okay. So
We're different
I
everywhere except for Lando.
yeah. Yeah. Um
Completely.
I do agree with you. I think, like you said, I think the top 5, but especially the top 3 are going to be very close.
Yeah.
Um and it's going to, I think it, for everybody, well, I mean, for my I think it's going to be on track mistakes.
Yeah.
Or in the case of McLaren, they could be messing, with the drivers. But I think it's going to come down to, I think it's going to be a season that comes down to you just can't push the car, or
Yeah.
you're crashing into somebody, or penalty points for whatever you did on
Well, yeah,
track.
yeah, yeah. I'm with you on that one. I
Yeah,
agree.
I think it's going to be a very interesting season in that regard. So, okay, so you have
So for
Lewis.
recap, I'm at
Yeah.
Lewis, Lando, Oscar, Max, Charles, my top five, Behrman, Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Hajar, and Borletto in my bottom five. You
Okay.
have Max, Lando. Yeah, you can say it.
I have Max, Lando, Charles, George, and Oscar,
Rusty,
and
yeah.
and
It is written up
Lewis.
Rusty, and it'll be Rusty on the screen.
Yeah, and Lewis in fifth. In fifth, and then Nico, Esteban, Jack, Gabriel, and Isaac in 20th.
Are
So
you just friends with all the rookies now? You all
I
on a
am.
first name basis?
I
Yeah, okay.
am, which is probably
Yeah.
going to really confuse
Jack,
people.
Gabriel, and Isaac.
They're going to be like, "Who the hell are these people?" But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting. I guess it's kind of a hot take. I also think there's going to be more than
Save
20
it.
drivers.
Save it.
Okay.
Save it.
Okay.
Save it. You just told me
Yeah.
you didn't have enough.
True.
Just gotta blow your load before we get there.
True. Right. God.
I was talking about a pump.
Yeah.
So let's get into our constructors here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do the same thing. Our constructors. We'll do from 10 to 1.
Okay.
Right, and then we'll get into our hot takes after that. So, would you like to start?
I can start, and I think we've got the same one. Kick
I
Sauber.
don't think so. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kick Sauber in 10th with their collective, 8 points.
You're giving them a lot of points.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm not on your 8-point train.
The over-under? No?
Now you're giving both riders.
Nico has the 7.
You think? I don't even think Gabriel's getting 1. I'm not subscribing to this theory at all. Okay. This is not my hot take.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Kick in.
So we both. Yeah, we both do.
Okay. 9th, I have Racing Bulls.
Me too.
Okay. So far, we're on. We're point for point here.
Point or pointless, but
yeah. 8th, I have Haas.
Wow. Did you look at my answers?
This is okay. Well,
are you cheating?
Yeah.
We're gonna be the same. We're not gonna be the same.
7.
But anyways, 7. We might be the same.
Williams.
Yes. Okay, we're the same there.
Jesus.
This is boring.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 6. Aston Martin.
Ooh, I meant Alpine.
Ooh, okay.
I still don't think that Alpine is going to, which I'm surprised you put Alpine ahead of Aston Martin if you're going to do it. Well, that's going your hot take. I know it already is. Okay.
Yeah.
I still have them there. I don't think that Alpine, I put Alpine for you here. I don't think that Alpine's going to figure it out enough, despite their success at the end of the season. And we did see that, Adrian Newey was talking about today that, not today, earlier this week or whatever, that his focus, he was hired to work on the 2026 car and beyond, but he knows that inevitably Lawrence Stroll is going to ask him to work on the 2025 car or help out with the 2025 car.
Yeah.
So maybe he might start figuring some things out there. I think they'll have enough to stay out of reach of Alpine.
Okay. I mean, my
5 is then.
Yeah, I think the complete opposite. I think Alpine has figured whatever the issues are out. I think Aston Martin is on a downward trajectory, kind of since 2023.
Yeah.
With Newey coming in, I do agree that he's working on the 2026, but they're going to say, help, there's something wrong with the car.
I mean, you're
And
paying him 25 million pounds. You might as well. Yeah.
yeah, and I just think we kind of saw it a lot. Stroll and Alonso close on track. I just think they're gonna take each other out, or Stroll taking
Well,
Alonso out.
yeah, we don't know. We might just do it. I mean,
Yeah,
he might not even see him
right. Doesn't see much.
somehow.
So,
Yeah.
so the track doesn't know where that is, gravel pits and all.
Well,
Uh, so,
Canada.
yeah. So I have Alpine in fifth, basically. So the opposite of what you have.
The opposite of me. So I think our number 4 is going to be the same.
Mercedes.
Yes.
Okay. I was like,
Unless your number 4 gets a ridiculous amount of points.
yeah.
Half of your number 4 gets half
Yeah.
of the ridiculous amount of points.
I have Mercedes.
I think Mercedes is going to have. Yeah. I mean, George. We know George can drive that car. I think Kimi's going to have a very good showing this year.
Mhm.
It's going to surprise a lot of people. Well, maybe not surprised, but he's going to show his talent in that car.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see. I think he might take a couple of races to get used to it, but I think as soon as he gets in his groove, he'll be. He's not. I don't see him finishing on a podium this year, maybe, but
No.
I see him finishing fifth, sixth, so gaining enough points for the team. So, yeah, I'm happy with Mercedes in fourth. Do we want to do 1, 2, 3? Or no?
Sure, we can. Yeah, we can do 1, 2, 3. We can do. Do you want to do 1, 2, 3? Because we know it's
probably going to be
we
the same.
have. We know we have a Ferrari in there. We know we have a Red Bull. We know a McLaren. So
yeah,
we could do a 1, 2, 3. Sure.
Okay, so I have McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull.
Wow, we are almost the same. I have. Oh no, we're the same. McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull. What am I saying?
Okay, perfect. So we only have one change.
We only have one, so we can one of us can make a point if they actually make it in there.
Yeah.
Or
we're all wrong. I mean, we're wrong with all of them. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, really.
Yeah, I mean, well, especially with my top 5, we have Lando and Oscar up in 2 and 3. You have a big separation between Lewis and Charles. That puts them in second for me. I'll get into one of my hot takes later, but I'm the only one to me that's really going to put up significant amount of points is going to be Max. So that puts them in third, enough to beat a Mercedes and enough help from Liam, hopefully. But
forgot about him. Forgot about that
guy. Most people wish they did.
Yeah, I don't think Red Bull is on form. I think they have their car for 2025. Newey worked on it. I think they're kind of stuck with whatever unless they have some genius behind helping them. I think their focus is 2026.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be Max, like you said, get as many points as you can. We'll figure out the rest. So, yeah.
So there you go. You heard here first. 2025 champions McLaren again.
Yeah, for sure. I would be very shocked if. I mean, I'd be happy, but I'd be very shocked if Ferrari gets a championship.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so that's our top 10. I mean, for both of us. Stake in 10, Racing Bulls, Haas, Williams, a flip between Aston Martin and Alpine. You had Aston Martin lower than Alpine. I had, and I had Alpine lower than Aston Martin. And then our 4 is Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren. Yeah, so not a lot different there. We're going to get into some fun stuff. Okay?
Yes.
So last year I started off these hot takes with. It wasn't even a hot take. It was a question because Max had won almost every race the year before. We had will he win every race and how many races he would win, which I was closer to, but I'll take my wins where I can. You won the whole thing, okay? Give me one question.
This is true.
and I actually got the number right. Give me a break.
Fair.
This one I had a thought. Who will have more DNFs or DNS this season, Lewis or Charles?
Ooh. You have a DNS in there?
I just lumped them together. I just
Okay.
DNFs or DNS. So for whatever reason, they do not finish a race.
Lewis or Charles? Um, ooh, I don't know. That's tough. I'm gonna say Charles.
I'm like, okay, so we both have Charles.
Jesus.
So since we have a tie,
Okay,
we're gonna
fine.
put
I'll
a
do
number. We're gonna
Lewis.
put a no. We're gonna put a number to this.
Okay.
We'll put a number to it. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
You feel that's what you think. That's what you think. We'll put a number to it. So how many? I'll put the over under at 3. Yeah, I'll put the over under at 2. Sorry for DNFs and DNSs. Okay, so or 2.5. So you can either pick an over or an under. We'll do that. Do you think it's gonna be over 2.5 or under 2.5?
For Charles?
Yes.
I say under.
You say under. Okay, good because I'm going the over. I'm gonna go
You think
for
he's
at
gonna
least
have
I think he can have 3, 4 if he's very unlucky, but that doesn't put him in my top 5 actors. I'll give
wow.
him a 3. I'll give him a 3.
Okay. No,
So you're under 2.5.
I think there's gonna be maybe 2.
Okay, I'll take the over.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this,
Uh,
but
all right, so
I'm nervous.
that's that question. We'll end off with another question, but first we're going to go through some hot takes. So
Okay.
just like last year, you don't know what I have. I don't know what you have. It's just going to be off the top of our heads. Hopefully,
Yeah.
as a little more specific than you were last year.
Yeah. A little bit.
Because if you're not, I'm going to roll my eyes into oblivion.
A little bit.
Go ahead.
All right. My
Your
first
first hot
one,
take.
which I think you have the same one, Franco Colapinto is in the Alpine seat by the end of 2025.
Okay, I have a similar one. So Franco is okay. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think originally I had said he's going to be in the seat, but like after the break, and then I was like, no, I'll
You're
be
giving him
nice.
that long.
Yeah,
See,
I'm
I
like
was
end of the
less nice.
season.
I only gave Jack Doohan. I think he'd be replaced after Saudi Arabia. I think they give him those 5 races, and he's gone.
Oh, okay.
I for some reason I have the feeling. So there's my hot take. For some reason, it's just I have it in my head that they already want Franco in there.
Yeah.
Doohan was that first signing, and then they couldn't find a place for Franco, so they picked him up as a reserve driver.
Yeah.
And I think they already have in their minds that that's their driver that they want.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. That's why I was like, he's going to be in that seat. No doubt about it. So yours is a little bit more specific of like you have a race time.
I'll give him 5 races.
Yeah.
I should have given him 6 to Japan, but whatever. Yeah. I'll give him 5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say by the end of 2025.
Yeah, sure. 2025, December 2025.
Yeah.
December 31st.
My second one is I kind of touched on it again or earlier. McLaren having driver issues again. I don't think Oscar cares what anybody has to say. And I don't think they have resolved. I don't think they're going to figure out.
This is throughout the team or just in general? Driver issues, conflict?
More so
some
the
kind
team.
of conflict.
More so the team not being able to like make a call of switch or don't switch or we're going to give this race. Like, I think they're just going to continue to cause problems for themselves.
All right. Fair enough. So the one I had as my first, the title will be decided in Abu Dhabi with the winner taking the race and the title. and that's going to be Lewis. I think it's going to come down to the
Whoa.
very last race.
Whoa.
I think that's how tight it's going to be. It will be when you said it's going to be like 2021. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's going to be like that. It's going to be right down to the final race,
Wow. All right.
and that's why I think it's going to be Lewis, because it's just going to take so long.
Can you imagine Lewis has to do this again? He has to do 2021 again.
Oh,
Like,
have a panic attack and just drive
yeah.
off the road.
Yeah.
And then there goes
Honestly.
my $20.
Yeah. But funny you said Lewis though, and I mean, um, that was your third hot take?
Second.
Okay. So my third is the complete opposite of what you just said. And I think Lewis is going to struggle in the Ferrari. I think he's going to have a hard time adjusting, knowing being with a team for so long, going over to a team that seemingly does things very different. Again, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They've seemed to have figured everything out over the last 2 years, but there's also been a lot of changeover. So is the changeover good? His team strategist, I don't know if we know who his strategist is yet, or maybe we do. I can't
Yes,
remember.
we do. Wasn't it Charles Old, strategist, I believe? Oh, not strategist, race engineer. Sorry.
Engineer. Or yes. So
I believe it was not Charles. Carlos' old one. My mistake.
Okay. I
read it somewhere. I think they did announce his engineer, but I
okay.
just can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I see him unfortunately struggling. I don't think he's going to pull the same like, okay, let's just retire the car. But I do see him.
He better not.
I don't think he can. I think he could do that when you've been with the team for, 10 years, 10 plus years. You can say, yeah, we're going to call it a day. You can't do that.
No, those Italians will kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
The Italians will kill him.
Yeah, you got to race. But I just think he's going to struggle, unfortunately.
Okay. So my next one is going to be that Liam Lawson will finish outside of the top 10 in points. It could be 11th, could be 12th, whatever. I don't see him breaking that top 10 barrier, which means, there's going to be an Aston Martin in there. There's going to be an Alpine in there. Probably going to be a Williams in there somewhere, maybe a 10. But I think, and that's why I put Red Bull so low in the standings. I just don't think Max is going to have that help.
Yeah. I mean,
or at least to a comfortable level.
Yeah, fair. Okay. I kind of agree with that. I think he's kind of going to be bullied out of those spots. All right. I have my number 4 is drama around Lance Stroll. It's vague, but hear me out. I think it's going to be the same thing that we kind of saw. I don't know if it was this year or last year. He wants to leave the team. He has tennis.
More off-track issues.
Yeah, like just drama around. Lawrence wants him off the team. They're going to do a signing. Like, it's just going to be specifically with Lance, though. Alonso is going to be whatever. Or, there could be an argument with Lance. But yeah, just drama around Stroll. And I don't know why. But Brian's not going to like me. But
no, he's not. But, if there are any validity to these, Aston Martin rumors, maybe not the contract, but them going after Max. I mean, can't you just see Lawrence just giving Lance that look and be like, yeah, I get it, and then just walking away?
Yeah.
and he just leaves. He just exits stage right.
Well, and I feel like once they get into the pens and people start asking like, oh, your father apparently asked Max for this $1 billion deal. How does that make you feel? And then he's just going to go off the deep end.
He's going to my dad gave me $1 billion last week.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Okay, so this one, I got to stop being so specific with these things. But So last year we had the whole, they went what, 9, 10, 12 races without a yellow flag until we got to Canada, or since Canada,
Hmm.
if I'm correct, right? Yeah, that was since Canada they didn't have, and they went
I
9 or
think it was
10,
10. I think it was 10
10 races.
races.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have a DNF crash yellow flag by Japan. So early. Wait, Japan is number 2, 3, third race. Whatever Japan is, I looked it up. It was early.
It's
So,
early.
but it would also be caused by the rookie, one of the rookies on the field. I think there's so many rookies on field. I think whether it's apprehension or inexperience, or weather conditions that make them nervous. I think that we're going to have something, and that'll be the first one. It'll be one of these rookies just out of their, not out of their element, but um, just you know showing that kind of unsure. Uh, uh, I don't know, but they're just not, going to be in their comfort zone
Yeah.
in this series at the beginning,
Yeah. The car is a lot faster than the F2 car as well.
and bigger.
So, yeah. So, I can see that. So you're saying uh
So
a
early, like
rookie is going to start, it's going to cause a DNF.
DNF or in a crash or a crash, yeah, DNF crash
Okay.
by Japan.
Well, it's funny because what was it, 2023? We had Australia with the like 5 cars out,
Yes, that
and
was 3 red flags.
Yeah, and Australia is our first race
Yes,
this year,
that's right.
so it could
Oh
be
yeah,
as
that was 3 before.
yeah, it could be
Yeah.
as early as Australia that we see that. So that's probably a good guess. Um, my fifth one is, you mentioned you had a Williams hot take. This is my Williams hot take.
Yeah,
I
somewhat Williams.
okay. I think Carlos Sainz will outscore Albon by a lot. I don't know where they're going to fall on. I mean, I didn't have them. They weren't in my top 5 or my bottom 5, but I think Sainz is going to show Williams something that they didn't even know they had in the car. And I think it's going to make Albon's future not in jeopardy, but I think it's going to be like, oh,
Uncertain.
yeah, like how come he couldn't do this in the car for however long he's been there, through 2 years, 3 years,
2 or 3 now. I think 3.
But yeah, I just think he is going to outshine him, unfortunately, in the car.
Okay. So I'll just move over Carlos Sainz then. So not necessarily outshining him by a lot and then showing him. I think Carlos Sainz will be signed for another team before the 2026. For 2026, before season's end.
I concur. I agree with that. Do you want to double down and say what team?
No.
Because I can add on to yours and say what team I think.
Yeah, but there's a lot. I mean, there's the opportunity to go to Cadillac, which I don't think he's going to go to. That'll free up a space, or likely free up space in Audi, which I know the ties are there, but is the engineering going to be there? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it at Mercedes. It's obviously not at Ferrari or McLaren. So the only other place I could see him signing would be Red Bull.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Red Bull will be willing to admit their mistake that Liam wasn't their guy. So
you don't think Helmut Marko would easily throw someone under the bus?
I think he would.
He unnecessarily threw Nick DeVries under the bus the other day.
I know. Just he brought up Nick. I saw that.
What the hell?
Yeah, just like, yeah, we were just so stupid to sign that guy.
Yeah,
basically.
He's been gone for 2 years.
I guess it would be Cadillac or Audi. Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, whatever. Yeah. I'm not being that specific enough.
Yeah, you think he's going to be signed to another team. He's going to be
gone, and we're gonna know that before the end of the season. Yeah.
Okay. Valid. This is my last one, and it's kind of an obvious one, and probably a stupid one, but kind of goes to something that we've already said. I think there's going to be at least 22 drivers this season.
Well, I mean, all you need is one more because you already didn't think that Colapinto was going to be in there. So who would that be?
Oh, true.
I had that thought that there was going to be a reason, a suspension or something coming through,
Yeah.
for whatever reason. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw Kevin Magnussen get suspended,
Yeah.
and actually have to go home for or not make it for a medical issue.
Yeah.
Um, so it's completely plausible. So you have
Yeah. At least 22 drivers. I mean, that's probably not fair because we also know Max's girlfriend, partner, whatever, is having a baby. So, like, it could be over a race weekend, but it's also Max. So he could probably be like,
yeah, but I feel
you
like they
have
have
the
like a
baby,
schedule.
I'll be there.
Yeah, they'll have like a scheduled C-section like two
Yeah.
months early, so he doesn't have to miss a race,
Yeah.
and doesn't have to miss an online race too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Uh,
Um, so, I mean, yeah. Yeah. I just think there's, again, with having so many rookies,
yeah,
everything is kind of up in the air.
yeah, that's fair.
How strict are teams going to be with um, letting stuff go on? Like maybe Alpine, as hard as it may seem and mean as it may seem, maybe Alpine's onto something that you're only going to be signed as a rookie. You're only going to be signed for 5 races.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm just looking at the quality of the rookies that are there. I mean, I don't see Haas giving up Behrman
no,
for something like that. I think they're keeping him. Same thing
no,
with Kimmy.
yeah,
Toto made such a big deal of signing Kimmy.
yeah.
Um, I think Red Bull's really big on Hadjar, and they'll keep him there for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Bortoletto, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're not considering Liam a rookie anymore.
I guess
Um,
he kind of is. I mean, this is his first full contract.
full season, but he did a
Yeah.
whole like a half a season.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, no, that's fair. I think you're gonna get that point. So I have two left.
Oh,
So I'll tell you
okay.
what. On these last two, if I get points on both of them, we'll just take one of those off because I have an extra one. But
Fine.
whatever. If I'm giving you half a point, the other one, I
If
can
we
be nice here.
must.
Yeah. So my first one, it's going to be a little bit of a shocker, probably. Kimi Antonelli will finish higher than George Russell this year.
Ooh.
This was my far out take that I struggled to put down on
Whoa.
paper. Yeah, yeah.
Where did you have George finishing? Oh, you didn't have George in your top
I didn't
5.
have Jordan in the top
Oh,
five. No.
that's right.
So I
Okay.
mean, they could be 6 and 7.
Right.
You know, George could have a bad year, and it could be a little bit. And Kimi takes advantage of that. George could have this appendicitis. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just that's my way. I don't in any way think I'm going to make this one stick.
Yeah.
But but that's my way out there take.
Yeah.
The one that is probably more so, more of a lock ish, is Max will receive a misconduct penalty this season. The only thing is it's going to count as a second offense depending on the severity. So if he goes out and says these stewards or these rules are complete bullshit, they're going to count that as a second offense. If he does it as an accident, they're like, okay, new rules, that's your first offense.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that is almost a lock.
Well, and this is where this kind of goes to, we didn't say it in our hot takes, but we were both kind of hinting towards like how close this season is going to be, and if we have these new rules, if they stick around, where they could potentially be penalty points or championship points that are up for grabs.
That's only for the third. The
I
third.
think it's the third one. Yeah,
That's a tough place to get to.
I mean, are none of these guys going to swear at least 3 times?
Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be more so. I think the on track stuff, as we saw last year, isn't going to count for as much. It's when we get into media or detrimental comments toward officials, or because of comments about something, it incites fans to go off, flood somebody's DMs with hate speech and whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're really going to see those rules come into effect.
Yeah.
Which yes, kind of fair, as long as it doesn't affect the on-track stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, we talked about this
Yeah.
last episode,
Yeah.
so we don't have to
Let's not
rehash
get
this again.
going again.
Yeah. I just wanted on the hot take there, so I
Yeah.
can get an easy 1 point.
So you said he's going to.
I said he's going to receive a misconduct penalty this season.
Okay.
And then I went a little more specific and said that the penalty could be a second offense depending on what the severity of the incident was or the misconduct was.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, I could see Ben getting his panties in a knot, but
absolutely. That should be an over-under. How many times is he going to get his panties in a knot this year?
That we could add that one on.
Over 5.
We'll add it on.
Over 5.
Okay, so we'll do a 4.5. Okay.
Okay.
So panties in a knot, over under 4.5. You say over.
Over 5.
Okay, I'll go with the under. I'll go with right at the 4. Right at the 4. 4.25, because there's going to be some butt clenching where you're going to want to sound off. But
so now we're going to have to record every time we see like a news from.
Yep, and that includes like the British media just hates me.
Yeah.
Poor me.
Yeah.
This is not fair to me. You guys treat the drivers great and treat me like shit. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, you'll take the 5 or over 4.5. I'll take the under 4.5. All right. And just the way we ended off last season's predictions, we'll do the same thing with this season. Who will have the highest damage cost? We were both wrong on this one because it was Sergio Perez last year.
Highest damage cost. Yeah, see, these rookies, I don't really know how they were. Not controversially, but I'm going to go Ocon.
You're going to go Ocon. I think you said Ocon last year too.
I kind of wanted to say Liam Lawson, but I'm like, I don't think he's going to be the highest. I think he'll be high. I don't think he'll be the highest.
Yeah, because we saw a lot of the on-track incidents last year with Liam, but they were tiny incidents. They were little bumps. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this one beforehand. I kind of went to fly off the cuff here, but I've got to go with. Oh my God, what am I going to go with? I want to say Albon.
Ooh, that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
I think so. I mean, we saw him creeping up there last year. He had some big damages.
Yeah. Those poor Williams. So. Williams mechanics. They're like, please, guys, don't.
They should have given him a really good Christmas bonus this year.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's our.
Those are our predictions.
5 predictions, which I thought it wasn't going to be that long. I thought because we were doing silly season predictions, we're at an hour. Perfect.
Locked in.
Great. So nobody complain about time. You just sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah. And we've got $20 on the line. So that Kevin will
$20
me.
on the line. Yeah. My ass. If I end up losing this, you're not getting a Christmas gift.
Right.
There's your goddamn $20.
Yeah. All right. So we will be back next week. We will have another episode for you, and we're getting closer and closer to the season. I don't think we actually. Yeah. Anyways, never mind. My brain is going anyways. Ignore that. So you can always find us on all social media. So TikTok, Instagram, and
YouTube,
X, at Fresh Set Podcast. We are on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts as well at Fresh Set Podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, rate, share, all the fun things. Turn on auto download so we will show up on your account on when our episode goes live.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. We'll just be there in your ear holes.
There. Download it. And so we will see you guys next time.
Yep. Grab a fresh set.
Bye.